I'm really excited to hear about this next application from Team Chorus. Serena is going to bring us in and tell us about your app, Quietly.
Cool, thank you very much. So good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Chorus, and we are excited to present our app Quietly, providing a digital voice to your choir group. Next slide, please. So I recently joined a community choir group and noticed it was hard to stay organised. Different methods of communication are used for sharing information, events, song sheets and recordings, such as Facebook groups, emails, and Dropbox. As a team, we realised we could make an app that solved these issues. We focused on creating a space where a user could register, look for a choir to join, and when accepted, see messages, events, and files all in one place. We also wanted the choir leader to have extra abilities to be able to communicate to choir members easily. I'll now hand over to Gosha, who will go through a demo of the app.
Thanks, Serena. Hi, everyone. So when we decided to build this app for Serena, it was important for us that it's a mobile app, so easily accessible on the go, and that it works both on iOS and Android, which is why we decided to develop it using React Native so that we could build this fully cross-platform app. As we went, we tested it on both Android Studio and Xcode simulators to make sure it looked good on both. There are two sides of the app, so you can either be just a member of a choir, or you could have your own choir, which you're a leader of, and have access to different features like creating posts, adding events, and sharing files. Great, let's watch the demo. Cool, so you can register or log in through FireBase authentication. So we want to make sure it's a secure, encrypted login, and it was also a well-known Google platform, so we thought it'd be a good choice for our app. So once you access the app, you can see a list of choirs, which you can filter by location. You can then open that choir's page, request to join, send a message to the choir leader. They then be able to see a notification come through and either accept or reject your request. On the app, you can also access your profile, where you can edit your info and your profile picture. Once that's done, you click submit, and you can see the changes straight away. So our user's already a member of a choir, which they can see there on the side nav. You can be a member of multiple choirs. They'd all then appear on that side nav automatically. You can view posts for the choir, and you can leave comments as well. You can then navigate to the events page through that bottom tab, Navigator, and confirm your attendance to the event, and that'll automatically send a notification to the leader. So as a user, you can also create your own choir. So Kate here is actually a Northcoders student, and she wants to create a Northcoders choir, which will automatically appear on the front page for other people to join. So as a leader of this choir, she now has different features available to her. So on the main choir page, she can now create new posts, which would automatically send a notification to all choir members. She can also create events like concerts or rehearsals. She can choose a date there, time, and add a description. And this would also send a notification to all members of this choir. Once that's done, all choir members will be able to then go into that events page and confirm whether they're going or not. Cool. Thanks for watching our demo. I'll now pass over to Ramon, who will take you through the tech stack.
Thank you, Gosha. So Quietly is built using MVC, or Model, View, and Controller design pattern. And that really helps us to have a good understanding of the structure of our application. The model and controller is handled in the backend by a RESTful API built with Node.js, Express, and MongoDB, and it's hosted in Heroku. Of course, we use TDD with JEST to make sure that all of the endpoints work as they should, And it also provided great confidence to supporting the front-end layer of our application. From the beginning, we saw this project as a great opportunity to learn and explore new technologies that we might find in the next steps of our careers. During the course, we had a really good experience building databases with PostgreSQL, and we really have a really good understanding of how relational databases work, but we choose MongoDB to learn a new approach to store data in a non-relational way. Our database is hosted in Mongo Atlas, a database as a service from Mongo, and we query the database using Mongoose, a really powerful JavaScript library that made it really easy to interact with the database, and it also gave us the possibility to create some shape through schemas. From the beginning, we thought that the best solution to build the application was to use a native application because, of course, we can take advantage of some of the native features, like, for example, push notification when an event or like a rehearsal on a concert is posted in a group. At first, we tried with Ionic framework and we built some spikes with it, but we found out that the documentation was not the best, and we thought that that could be a risk to our project. And then we tried React Native with Expo, and we quickly felt comfortable with it. And we realized that React Native was the perfect tool to build quietly, especially because the loading time is much faster than Ionic, and there is a lot of libraries and components that we can quickly implement and integrate in our app, and they will translate really nicely into each native environment. So that are some of the reasons behind our tech choices. I'll pass you on to Jonathan, who's going to explain some of the challenges and lessons we overcome during the project.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ramon. So some of the challenges. So we had quite an ambitious minimal viable product as a scope. Would we have changed that on reflection? Absolutely not. I think we all agreed as a team that we wanted to raise the bar really high so we could produce as much functionality as possible. And I think that went really well. I think the whole ethos of the boot camp at Northcoders is to challenge ourselves and to get the very most out of the experience. So I think we built upon that ethos. The back end was a challenge. We had a lot in our minimal viable scope, and creating the number of endpoints we needed was quite a challenge, especially with all the TDD. I remember Ramon and I laughing about being over 1,000 lines of code when we were creating our tests in JEST. Moving on to remote coding, tools and connectivity. We were all based remotely. That gave us a number of challenges. I remember my internet failing for a couple of hours one morning when we were at a key critical part of a component. But we worked really well as a team and we overcame it. We used the standard tools such as Git. We did pair programming. We did mob programming. So we were very flexible in our approach. So if anybody had a challenge, we were quite happy to fail fast and learn quick, get on a quick call with each other and help wherever we could. I think we worked fantastically as a team to achieve that. So James, if you could move on to the next slide, please. Lessons learned. Communication is king, especially in a project such as this with a small time scale. So we used the agile methodology. So we did daily stand-ups. We looked at what our impediments might have been. We talked about them in the group. We were very open and honest throughout. So if we struggled with a bit of tech or we were uncomfortable with something, then we helped each other to overcome, and we actually delivered a lot better by communicating in that way. We used Trello as well, so we had a Trello board. Thankfully, our confetti was digital and not in the real world, as I think we'd have created a lot of litter because we really did achieve a lot throughout this project. You have to commit to using Git, and we did so. We did have some challenges around Git at the beginning. We had a few merge conflicts, but we built upon the lessons we'd learned previously in the boot camp. We used some great tools such as the insights and network topology in GitHub that would give us the relationship between our branches and main, for example, and they quickly empowered us to overcome them challenges. So we learned that Git's a fantastic tool, and we just want to explore that more and more in our career following Northcoders. Don't burn the midnight oil too often. We're really passionate about our project. We loved it. We spent lots of hours, sometimes, you know, pushing a bit late in the evenings. We don't regret doing that, but we also were very mindful of not burning out during the project phase. And where one or two of us might have struggled if we'd been up late the night before, we picked that up between us and we helped to manage the load throughout the team. So we were very flexible, we were very supportive, and we helped each other deliver what I believe is a fantastic project. So I'd like to finish by saying thank you. It's been an honor to be part of this group. I want to pass on to Serena now to go through what we'd like to do to develop the app further and to open up to any questions that anyone may have. Thank you.
Great, thanks, John. So yeah, just to finish off, we'd like to develop the app further with extra features shown here. So showing a map of choirs available to join using the Google Maps API, enabling a user to see a feed of choir events using a calendar view, having the ability to play recordings in the app, and having the ability for users to pay the weekly rehearsal fee. So final slide. Just saying thank you very much for listening, and does anyone have any questions?